What up, what up, what up, what up, what up? This your boy Kemetic Energy.
It's your boy Kray.
Dynasty in the building.
This is the dirty.
Dirty,
Dirty.
dirty, 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 really
Dirty.
dirty.
Straight like that. Great like that. Alright, man. What's goody, peoples? What's goody, mob? What's up? Everybody
So it looks like we going just everything.
I mean, damn.
Everything been good.
Sure? Okay. All right. What you about to say, Craig?
He about to dive in. Go ahead. Damn, me finna get straight to it. No games.
He will.
Yeah, we don't got that much time. We got a limit. It's dirty 30. We got 30. So I was just gonna dive in. So, monogamy. We've talked about it. We've covered it. We've scratched it. We've never really dove in deep and never really took it apart and dissected it and really looked at it for what it really is and what it truly is. So, how about we get into it? What angle do y'all want to take on this approach to this topic of monogamy? Societal monogamy.
Yes.
For one thing, I'll just start off with this question. If monogamy is actually a real thing, if it's supposed to be real, why doesn't it work? Or does it work? Or are we just telling ourselves lies?
So, what do you mean? Is it working on what type of level? Because some people could say on an individual level works well.
But you can't be monogamous and be an individual. It takes two. It takes more than one.
I mean, well, you know what I mean. On a couple.
More than one is what? Can I be polyamorous and be monogamous? Is it natural? This is the open-ended question.
Are you saying this on a societal perspective? Does it work?
I mean, monogamy is a societal term. It's not a individual term. One person didn't come up with it.
I thought you were going to say not natural because it ain't. It's not natural.
I mean, it's not natural. Mm-hmm. Apparently, it's not. If you go back and Google has its different definitions of monogamy. Apparently, the AI doesn't believe in it either. But
oh wow,
scientists seem to believe that humans are now mostly monogamous, but this hasn't been the norm for just the past. It's only been the norm for the past it says 3.5 million years. Or 100 or 1,000 years. They believe that monogamy started pretty much when men wanted to protect their children, because in tribal societies, often ancestral tribe members would kill the children so that they could mate with their mothers. This is what they Google AI is saying. So you go through it and you venture off and you go down the wormhole, and the computer pretty much speaks out loudly against monogamous. For humanity and for humans, it's not natural.
So let me just help you out real quick and help me. So when you say AI for the layman's term society, I just need to know for all my audiences, not audiences. Anyways. What the fuck does that mean? Help me.
Artificial intelligence.
Okay.
So humans have developed a way to create artificial intelligence, and artificial intelligence studies humans on a daily basis and comes up with its own definition and meanings for human beings and for what types of lifestyles and societal beliefs that we have. So it's pretty Google much like that third person.
Mm-hmm. Google is that, yes.
Yeah, Google
all right.
is like
okay, I'm
person.
Back.
Yeah, pretty much the person outside of the situation looking at both sides.
Yeah, without a doubt. Mm-hmm.
So with that being said, how do we consistently force ourselves to be in these types of relationships, knowing psychologically that it's just not. It's not natural. It's not normal.
Well, how deep is that individual's love? Is it deep? Like, how deep is it first? Because you're only going to do what that person allows you to do. Whether you think it's manipulation or you think that that person really truly cares about you and is allowing you to do this, like, you have to understand how deep is it first. For
the other person?
In general, how deep for both parties when you come in.
I see what you're saying. I think.
Well, I mean, go ahead, Kemetic.
I don't know. It's a lot to unpack when you get hit with a situation like that, because I mean, is this a conversation that gets brought up early on in a relationship? You see what I'm saying? When does somebody typically say, "Hey, I'm non-monogamous"?
But earlier you noticed how you said monogamy can be a self thing, and then how Kray said you don't have to necessarily communicate and tell the other person, because that's another struggle in a relationship. This is what you could be thinking within yourself about how you feel about a person, but you haven't told them openly and it hasn't manifested yet.
That I understand. I get that.
And then you begin to think, how deep do you have for that person? You don't have to explain that to anybody per se.
Yeah, you're right.
So I often wonder, like, what does monogamy have to do with love? For one, it has nothing to do with that feeling. I feel like someone's love for someone doesn't determine whether or not they just want to be with that person, only that person, because you've obviously had to date others to get to this person. You know what I'm saying?
But I didn't
you definitely had to
love either, though. You just.
Well, you said how deep is the love?
Deep. Yeah, like, how deep do you have? It could be an obsession, like a song. Those love songs are not love songs; those are obsession songs. And it captivates you and brings you in, and you come up and you feel it a certain way. Somebody else may feel it a different way. So I understand what you're saying. Monogamy isn't necessarily love, but when you hear that word, that's what you automatically think society-wise, right?
Well, I think it's selfishness.
I'm saying, how deep is it? Because we hate our job, but we still going to that motherfucker every day. And it ain't because we need the money. You could be content. It's so many things.
Yeah.
And that's a monogamous relationship, ain't it?
Not really. Not if you got a side hustle.
I was good.
We're not talking about polyamorous and fucking Keisha after work. We're talking about monogamy and how it's not natural because of this type of shit right here. We answered our own questions.
I don't know. I think monogamy is definitely, in my own perspective. I think monogamy is depending on one's self. Like, if you feel as though you can only you only want to entertain one individual at a time, but then it's crazy to say this because it's like,
how can you?
Even when you try to be monogamous, even when you tell someone I only love you and only you, that's a lie. You've lied already.
Exactly.
You love your mom.
You have subcategories, and you're going to label it mothers first. It's too much.
You know, like exactly. What are we really talking about? Like, oh, I'm only having sex with you at this moment. You know what I'm saying? Like, how many people have you had? Like, monogamy is not just one, like, okay, because I'm with you right now and I'm monogamous. Like, no, dog. Like, you definitely had sex with someone right before we started dating. Like,
and praying to God you didn't catch nothing and just sitting there like, did you use protection? Is that my next question? But I can't ask you that next. So wait.
Right. Maybe you're not an active polygamist, but I guess we just have to dive, like, what the fuck is monogamy? Like, what is it? Like, what does it mean? Is it like a momentary thing, or is it a duration of time?
You're saying, how do you define monogamy?
How long does it last? Like, where does it start and where does it end? You know?
I agree.
Like, where's
I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
I agree with Bob Marley's quote so much when he says, everybody's going to hurt you. It's just a matter of how long you want to deal with it. So, that question when I asked earlier, how deep is the love, or how deep do you feel, whether you communicate that or not to another being or person or thing, how long you going to put up with the shit? That's that's the answer. How long you going to put up with it?
I don't know, from a that term in itself, I've always battled with that, because you can't just have that. It just can't be singular, in my opinion. I don't think it's natural. Okay, that the term, I don't think any of it is natural at all. I'm sorry, because if we live in based on nature is poly. And I'm not saying polyamorous, I'm not saying polygamous, I'm saying poly as in many. You see what I'm saying? Because nature includes everybody, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, how can you I don't see how you can use that and say I'm strictly monogamous. It just isn't the case.
The
In
only
my
way
opinion,
I feel
I'll say the only way I feel like you can is if you ain't done nothing with nobody until this point.
right. I was going to say the same thing. Yeah.
And for that to be the case is just impossible. I mean, you literally have to be in an
I won't
all
say
white
it's
room
impossible.
with nobody. It ain't no. Come the fuck on. Man.
I won't say it's impossible.
Damn, he's showing.
I won't
What
say.
are you saying to the world?
Go ahead, Kray.
I won't say that it's impossible, but for monogamy to happen in a relationship as it stands, maybe we take it out of the context of everyone, and we just jump into we just focus on relationships, like intimate relationships with lovers or whatever you want to call them, right? In order for you to have a monogamous relationship, you would have had to not love or dealt with anybody until you met that person, right?
Exactly.
Because think about this, if there's truly no such thing as time, and there's truly no such thing as day and night, then the days and nights never happen. It's just all one continuous timeline. So
exactly.
If you know what I'm saying, if you date somebody last year, it's not last year. You just dated someone a couple moons ago. You know what I'm
previously,
saying?
Yeah,
previously.
Still
previously.
in your life. Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Right. Yeah. So you still carry that person, those feelings, those emotions. You still think about that person from time to time. Shit, if you see him again, you honestly, if you want to be honest, the only reason why you're dating this new person is because of this old person.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
You're going super deep in that aspect, but there are people out there who put themselves on the line all the time, because you have to think some people love hard. Some people don't judge that person. Some people don't ask those questions because they can't handle the truth. Some people not going to be that bold to even know or figure that out. So you have to look at, did this person get manipulated? Is this person just addicted to sex? Does this person actually like the personality, or do they just come around with so and so or this or that? You know?
But
what
why
y'all
does
saying
that?
is true, and that's how it is on a societal standpoint. Maybe from a guy's standpoint, because maybe women don't do that. You know, y'all talking amongst each other saying, "Yeah, bro," but that's not how everybody think.
So how do you think about it? Give us the female perspective.
So, if a woman really cares about her self-worth and her body, and she really for a relationship, especially when she fresh and ain't never been in it, that's the purest form, because she naive, but she going into it pure and innocently because she ain't never experienced it. The second time, you a little bit more mature and you kind of on the fence, but you still want to try to get that same feeling you did in the beginning with the first one. And then the third one, from a love perspective, I'm talking about love perspective, because I feel like you only love 3 times. So
Really?
the third time, you kind of, that's it. If that one fuck up, you don't have that same capacity anymore. It changes. And then from a relationship, It's always going to be about how much time.
I mean, okay. So you say you feel you as a woman feel like you only love like 3 times,
Yeah,
right?
monogamy is not natural if you can't hold on to, because those feelings diminish from experience. You either it's gonna make you bitter and you're gonna hold on to it and nurture that pain, or you're gonna turn gay, or you're gonna be like fuck you, and it's gonna be another person and another person. You're just gonna become this cold-hearted person.
But like that's the thing. Like if you put a time limit or you put a number or a dot behind how many times you can love, then you're always going to go into every relationship thinking like, okay, this is it, or I wonder how long this is gonna last. You know what I'm saying? There's really no, you don't open yourself up to experiences. Like all of this shit is just practice. Every fucking thing we do, like we don't know shit about shit. When you first get married, you don't know shit about your fucking marriage until you get in it, and then the next marriage is gonna be completely, it could be completely different. You know, I feel it's just all like risks. You know what I'm saying?
And those
Like who
risks
you
get
love.
tried and true. You know what I'm saying? Don't nobody want to keep doing that shit.
Yeah, but
People get tired of that.
when you, I agree with Kray, because when you put a number on it, you're defining it, and you're actually inadvertently you're kind of giving it a specific timeline to begin and a deadline. You see what I'm saying?
But that's what everybody's doing societal wise. Think about it. You've done it. You think about polyamorous as a whole nother subject, and it's a whole nother thought process. Not just you, but in general. This is what we go through.
I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying. But one thing about me that I have learned is I won't. I enjoy the moment. When people say live in the moment, that shit is a really deep sentence that a lot of people just don't really comprehend. Yeah. And they just take advantage of that and don't really realize it until that moment is up. You see what I'm saying? But you really have to live in the moment. Because once it's done, it's, like you have to. You have to enjoy it and savor that shit. Whenever you're in something, a relationship, it doesn't matter how your dynamic is in that relationship, whether it's polyamorous, monogamous, however you do it.
With a mic.
However you do that shit is how you do it, but just enjoy the moment that you're in. Like, you can't sit up here and try to define that shit like, here comes the bullshit. It's coming, it's coming, it's coming, it's coming, and it's here. No.
Right.
It's like, dog.
But that's what women do. We think emotionally,
see, that's the
and
thing.
we prepare ourselves for that.
That
so
is
on a monogamous level, it's not natural because we expecting the bullshit. We looking for those red flags from experience.
But that right there does not make it right. That does not make it right. That makes it a scapegoat.
It doesn't make it acceptable.
Exactly. Yeah. It's like, you can't do that. You can't. The minute that, my thing is, because you said something profound. You said you as women, that's what y'all do. How many people have been successful when they done that?
It doesn't matter because it's easier said than done.
No,
the mattering part is how long you want to deal with it and cope with that mechanism of that person. That was that main question, right? It's not about the thought process. It's about how long you want to deal with something like that. Because you can walk away. You have free will. The same thing with other monogamous relationships that we have.
But see, like, this is the thing, too. Because you say, how long are you willing to deal with it? But it's like this. Most of us don't want to be alone. So we put up with shit just because we don't want to start over and keep starting over and keep starting over. But the thing about it is, when you take the concept of, oh, when is the bullshit gonna happen? Oh, it's always gonna be some bullshit. Oh, if I leave him, it's just gonna be somebody else with some more bullshit. When you take that out of the picture, and you are experiencing this human experience with this individual, and you take it for what it is, whatever you're supposed to learn, because we have to be real with ourselves. Nothing lasts forever. And I think that's where women get fucked up in the head. They think that they're gonna get into a relationship, they're gonna get married, and then everything is just gonna be okay forever. Like there's no forever. You know what I'm saying?
Sorry,
There's
world.
stages in life. You born, you live, you die, and then whatever happens after that, whether you born in another life or you're reincarnated, it starts all over again. There's a cycle. But you can't keep living like, oh, I'm gonna love him forever. And no, you love him today. Oh
Well,
no, you
tell
love him
Cinderella
while
to quit
he's
selling
dead.
them fucking movies and Snow White and all that bullshit that we watched when we was little, okay? And yeah,
Well,
I
it's
get it.
not
You
just
get a
that.
piece of
It's
fucking hair when you're young. You have a piece of fucking hair when you get old. It's fucked up. And sure, one tooth when you it's coming
it's
in and one fucking tooth going out.
but like women will fuck each other's head up though. Because it's not I won't sit here and just blame men because men do fucked up shit, right? But there's some really good guys who do some really healthy things and women don't love them because it's like they have to have the balance of bullshit. You know?
Yep.
When they don't have the bullshit, their life isn't fulfilling. So they have to go search to
I'm not a drama
find
queen.
thrilling
I'm quite
moments.
boring.
You know, they have to find they have to find these moments where life is thrilling. So it's like, oh, he doesn't have enough excitement because he wants to just love you and treat you right and do all the things that you've asked for. But the ones that don't do anything close to what you've asked for always seem more appealing because opposites attract, right?
It's a common law
So
relationship or
it's
it's a
like
legal documentation
it's
relationship.
it, it comes down to being like because I've had this issue with women in my past with always telling me like you don't know what you want. You don't know what you want. You need to figure out what you want. But it's like this. We none of us know what the fuck we want. We all guessing until we get it and then we lose it and then we realize, oh shit. You know what I'm saying? That's
It's
what the
gone.
fuck I really enjoyed that.
Mm-hmm.
I really like that. But it's not gonna last forever. So now as an adult, I realize that when I do have something, I have to enjoy it while I have it. This could
Exactly.
last till I die, but that's not forever.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, that's an end point. That's an expiration date. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, so we can be married until we die, but at some point in time, one of us is going to go before the other.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to prepare yourself to be okay with this person not being there forever, but not even and try not to think about it. Just enjoy the moment. And if they're unhealthy, get the fuck out of there so you can find someone to be enjoyed. You can enjoy your time with.
Mm-hmm.
Why waste
Now,
your
if
time?
you want to be an
It's a
Icon
million
Tina
people
Turner
out here.
America, that's your business. But because it's always easier
And
said than done. Ain't it?
I think monogamy limits us from truly experiencing the full potential of having a fulfilled life. You know what I'm saying? It puts limitations on us because in monogamy, if your relationship is fucked up, because you believe in this monogamous state, you will stay with this individual, even though they're completely fucked up, and you'll try to do everything in your power to please this person because you believe that you're only supposed to be with one person.
Ladies, it could be because
You know what
that
I'm
man
saying?
got a good job, his dick good, or what? Because you know, homosexual season is tax time, ladies,
Oh
especially from
my
our Caucasian
gosh.
group. Okay, if you don't know what
Oh
that
my
means,
goodness.
What is okay? Hold up.
homosexual
Before we
means
go
a
in,
nigga trying to keep from being homeless. It's happened every tax season. That's probably what it is. It's cheaper to keep them and keep her, ain't it?
so say that one more time.
Mean people deal
What
with
is
it and get out. It ain't that damn simple sometimes.
so
And you know it is true.
what? That's a vocabulary word for this damn episode. Okay, what the hell is homosexual again? Hobosexual?
Yes,
Oh my gosh.
HOBOSEXUAL. Hobosexual. That's a broke motherfucker that's
Oh
trying to
shoot.
keep from being homeless with somebody. And it's every tax season when you get a lump sum of money. Go ahead and research it, America. It's right on the board.
Oh my gosh. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to
That's
cut
crazy.
off the seriousness, but go ahead, Cray. I just need to know what that was.
That's using sex as currency. Yeah, but getting back
It
to
all
it,
ties in.
Go
it
ahead, Cray.
does. It does. We everybody does something for something. But okay, let's get to that. Let's get to that. So earlier I stated that I feel as though monogamy is an act of selfishness.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And a lot of people are going to spit on that, but when you think about it, if a person loves you, right, and they love someone else, and that person loves them, and both of you all love that one person, why can't that one person be with both of y'all?
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like, why? Everybody gets what they want. So the fact that I use my body to please someone else hurts you. Like, you have to think, but I'm the selfish one because I want to have they call it having your cake and eating it too. But isn't that what the fuck cake is for?
Didn't you grow up in the church? You know God is a jealous God. You have to look at societal. Like, I hear what you're saying, but to the next person, a sinner, just a Jezebel. You know?
I mean, okay, so it's
but I mean, these are the conversations that we have to have, though.
It is, and that part I brought that up before. Now, I'll even attach it in this damn episode. I brought up the whole notion of why the shit won't work, and I was chewed the fuck out. But the main reason why it won't work is because of the selfishness. It is definitely the selfishness that keeps non-monogamy from happening.
I want to say religion too, because if you grew up in the church, and especially Baptist or Christianity, you understand the basis behind that too.
But even with the religion, what did you just say? God is a jealous God, right? That's what you were saying. It's the jealousy. It goes into the religious. Yes, yeah. It's the jealousy and the selfishness that keep it from happening. It could be from the religious perspective, it's still the jealousy. From the individual perspective, jealousy. It's the jealousy. Motherfuckers don't want to give up.
But see, this is
share with nothing.
But it's an emotion. You're showing the expression, passion, and emotion. You're saying get out of your feelings, but that's what a woman naturally does. Then we're looking at the different conditions that we've been taught. It's a conditioned learned behavior. It is about how you feel and how long you want to deal with it. Those are the only two bases that make sense to me as a woman to help a man understand from an emotional and logical standpoint at the same time. Because you're content with everything else outside of sexual relations with this opposite sex, right?
It's not that though. It's
but
not.
See,
that's
this is
not
the thing
always
too,
the
though.
case.
Right. Because this is the thing that women don't get. Every time that it comes down to like men and monogamy and polygamy and whatever, women believe that it's all, it's as soon as a man commits a sexual act, then it's completely just fucked up, right? But women commit these types of acts all the time. They're just not sexual. You know what I'm saying? They create these relationships with individuals who give them exactly what they want when they want it. Now, women are able to put off sex a lot easier and faster than men are. You know what I'm saying? We are like men are sexual creatures. Like, we're put on this earth to procreate. That's what the fuck we have penises for and shit. You know what I'm saying?
But
if a woman was producing, if a woman had,
you didn't have yourself.
You said what? But listen to this though: if a woman had as many babies as a man has sex, what would her body look like? You see what I'm saying?
It would be told the fuck off. She'd be bogus as hell for doing that to herself. Selfish.
It'd be fucked up. So that's why women. That's the balance though. Women aren't meant to be as sexually promiscuous as men because they can't. They can't keep
doing
so
that
shit.
Variety out there because in a religion you wouldn't be considered a whore because some religions allow you to have multiple wives. So you can't say it like that. You have to look at it from all spectrums. What have we been conditioned to feel and think?
In the religious aspect, has any religion said you couldn't have multiple partners? You see what I'm saying?
In the Christianity part, it says it in multiple ways. In one part, it says you can have multiple wives, and it classified it because that's going deep. We can proceed to talk about other forms of jewelry or accolades that people do to help you recognize that.
first off, when we talking about religion, it's bullshit. It's an abomination because these are just individuals who create ways to control mental states.
Hold up, Kray. Hold up, Dynasty. We gotta take a pause for the cause, man. We'll be back. Peace, people.
This show is produced by Livewire Sound and Entertainment. If you're looking to rent premium sound equipment for your next concert or podcast at a low price, go to www.livewiresoundent.com.